A while ago, I made a video about the Kodak video camera in US history. It was an innovation that would end up changing the world, introducing the world of visual and distributed media to the 20th century. But you know what else changed the US? The library. No, I'm joking. The library is perhaps one of the most underused government services that the US provides. I'm sure many of you watching this video thinks that a library only has one sole purpose: to give people the chance to borrow, or maybe steal, books from the public government. But here's the thing, not only is it a literal crime to not return a book from a public library offers services that could help almost every single person who lives in its area. To go up on a list of what a library could provide for you: Numero 1. For those who are young, we know that we need an area to maybe take a nap or study with a group of friends, or simply have fun and chill with a bunch of friends. Well, good news for you, because most libraries will offer dedicated child and teen areas. A library I know well is West Valley Branch Library, where the child area is full of little soft toys and numerous children's books, and the teen area offers much more in regards to what teenagers might want. Numero 2. For those who are studious, they have computers available for use with an ID card, printing and copying service for those who don't have one at home, and most importantly, group study rooms. These group study rooms will let students study together, and in my humble opinion, is especially nice when the weather is godforsaken hot or cold, and an AC or heater would be greatly appreciated. Something to be noted is that the services mentioned just now are completely available to those who are not teenagers, and basically anyone who has an ID card is free to use. Numero 3. Libraries just simply offer a lot of services. There's usually great transportation to and from libraries, as there are often bus routes right next to the libraries themselves, and they can host many kinds of activities and events. When election day comes, libraries are often the places where you can put your ballot. During normal times, they host robotics events or book club events, and now, with the pandemic, they also host virtual homework clubs for students who are going through online learning, and they offer online story time for young children. Not to mention, the printing services and internet access they provide can make up for people who are disadvantaged. In my humble opinion, and not research based, libraries just don't open for long enough, and this ties into our next problem, which is why our libraries not working. Part of the reason why libraries aren't able to open for so long is likely because they don't receive funding, and the reason they don't receive funding is because not enough people know about libraries, and the importance of libraries to the government decreases. As of right now, each citizen only pays about $42 a year for library funding, and that's nothing compared to something like an Audible subscription, and that's not even mentioning that libraries carry audiobooks now too. However, the other issue that libraries face is that publishers are no longer getting their books to public libraries anymore. Put simply, people just don't know that libraries could be so useful, and so they're often left completely empty. There's many ways that we can raise awareness of libraries, and through many means. There's the obvious, that is spreading the services libraries offer through advertisements and TV, though that could quickly become costly. However, if public libraries were to communicate with school districts, they get advertised directly to the students for a low cost. With the rise of technology, many schools are beginning to have video production classes, and an assignment to promote libraries could be made that are presented as a daily bulletin. I need to note that many libraries throughout different cities and different regions all offer more or less the same amount of services, and even more importantly, students heavily underutilize the closest library every day, which is the one in their own school. There are many ways that libraries can help out people of all ages, particularly students, yet their awareness is so low that libraries are beginning to struggle. If you're a student, start taking your friends to libraries to utilize the AC or heater and use the study room to study with your friends and get A's on your assignments. If you're an adult already, maybe you can go to a library to freshen up your mind, or use some of their essential services. And if you need none of these services, just help out the library's efforts by telling others of what libraries provide, and maybe even donate some money or books to the library. These libraries are some of the greatest gifts given to us by our governments, and we shouldn't just abandon them. Rather, we should use them.